Of it, the daughter was dead by her own hand after seeing her father get dragged off by a Chaurus and writing a suicide note, and the father's remains were found in this gigantic Chaurus Reaper. It's fucking gruesome, and I love it. It's not really a quest, it's more of a reward for the player going, huh, I wonder what's in this, and I appreciate it a lot for what it is. Rise in the East takes place in Windhelm at the East Empire Company offices. It's here where we learn that some pirates have been raiding the shit out of the company's ships lately, but oddly enough they've been skipping over the Shattershield family's ships.
Wouldn't surprise me if they were in league with the pirates somehow.
I too wonder this. So I'm going to steal some journal from the Shattershields to tell me the inevitable here. They're working with the pirates. Because you know, when you write something like, "Property of me, please return," you usually start writing down some illicit activities in heavy detail with no sort of masking. So yeah, you've got some mention of a guy named Torbjorn. You've got some mention of lunch and dinner. Moderate, moderate, light, moderate,
Heavy.
oh, and you have mention of this person outright working with fucking pirates. Thanks, Skyrim, very cool. So you go to track down one of the pirates mentioned. Dude has a good name. He's like, "Yep, we're pirates. Plundering, looting, thieving. Yep, do all that shit. Anyways, you can go meet the person in charge of us since you gave me some money." Alright, the dragon. So we sail out to this place in the ocean, which is actually the best part about this quest. I mean, yes, it's still somewhat samey looking, but just seeing yourself in this part of the map is pretty damn cool. I'm told that if I take out the main man in charge, these guys would take care of the rest, which is a lie. I mean, I guess they do a little.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Why, hello.
Tell you what, you start running so I can snap it.
So yeah, that's it. I mean, I like the setting and the actual map, but it was pretty standard quest stuff. I was actually hoping for something like, so the guy goes, "Hey, the pirates aren't attacking the Shattershields," which of course makes you think that the Shattershields are in league with the pirates. And then it turns out that the Shattershield Journal details a bunch of stuff about this lead pirate who's really into the Shattershield bookkeeper. And to show his interest, he keeps plundering rival ships and delivering half the loot to the Shattershields. She keeps telling him to not do that, but doesn't want to tell the East Empire Company what's going on because she got into an altercation with the branch's leader that has put them on non-speaking terms. Instead, she tells me to go try to convince this pirate to stop pursuing her by figuring out what he likes in a woman and trying to convince him that she's the exact opposite of that. Of course, killing him is an option, but you get a bonus if you don't and convince him to stop peacefully. The next quest I'm going to hit here is for the Daedric goddess of love, Mara. So basically, to receive Mara's attention, I need to solve a bunch of little issues involving various lovers around Skyrim. The first one has me talking to a lady who wants to marry her love, but her parents keep interfering since it would mean her moving away from Ivarstead. Well, it turns out that she was really into another guy in town not too long ago, and then suddenly she changed her mind. So now I have to choose between convincing the first guy that if he whisks her away, he won't be hunted down by her father, or convincing the second guy to be assertive and tell her how much he loves her. I opt for the latter here because we already saw what happens to cowards with the whole crazy bandit lady from earlier. Next up. You remember that old man who was super into studying Dwemer technology and created some crazy magnum opus that I needed to make a copy of for the Thieves Guild? Well, he has a giant crush on the housecarl of the Jarl here, and he desperately wants to get her attention, but doesn't know how to speak to her. So I figure out that she really likes poetry, and I have a poem drafted up in her honor from the old man. She loves it and asks me to bring him back a letter, which sends the old man running back to her.
I love you.
So I hear. Come here, you.
I mean, Skyrim moments aside, this is a real cute quest so far. The final trek has me reuniting the ghosts of two lovers. Basically, the husband was a soldier who got wiped out in a bloody battle, and the wife went searching for his body afterwards and never found it. The ghostly image of the wife is from the part of her life where she was still searching, and the husband's image were from his last moments the night before the battle he died in. When I reunite the two, they fly up into the air, confused, but happy to be with each other again. This was a very cute quest, but it wasn't my favorite. The best part was easily helping old Cal get down to business with this young housecarl, but I still somewhat enjoyed the rest as well. Enter the White File. This shop is ran by an elderly man who has finally tracked down the location of that which he named the shop after, the White File itself. He spent years and years of his life tracking it down, and is now certain of its location. Unfortunately for him, he's in no condition to retrieve this legendary item, which is said to be able to amplify the properties of and replenish any liquid placed in it. So I offer to go find it for him, and off I go. Tombs, undead-filled tombs, treasure within my reach. Fight through the thick gloom, learn the dragon word leech. Yeah, the vial's cracked. Well, shit. The old man is not happy about this whole ordeal, but there's nothing to be done right now. Later on, however, a courier comes by with a letter from the old man's apprentice. I'm now to gather the ingredients necessary to repair the file to get it working again. That doesn't take too long, and the apprentice does indeed fix it up. The old man is now on his deathbed, and the apprentice shows it to him before he finally passes away. Which is again kind of squandered by another Skyrimism, as the old man pops into the air like a demon came through and swatted his soul into the bed. But it's still kind of a touching scene, as I'm now the owner of the White File, which I set to constantly refill with a healing potion. It does suck that it only refills once per day, but I was never one for potions anyway. So this second to last quest is a tad tricky. When you hit level 14, the first inn that you walk into spawns the guy that you're looking for, which means that I need to scroll through my saves to try to figure it out. After locating him at the Bee and Barb, old Sam challenges me to a drinking contest for a magical staff. He stops it too, but I drink my third and promptly black out, apparently destroying a shrine to the goddess Dibella while yammering about some nonsense or another. After doing some cleaning and apologizing, the priestess here lets me know that I was babbling about Rorikstead before I passed out. This leads me to a string of things that I apparently did in the Hangover-esque fashion. I kidnapped a guy's prize-winning pig and sold it to a giant. I had a lady give me a wedding ring on credit to marry my fiancé, and knowing Skyrim, I probably fought 17 dragons along the way. But at the end of it all, a portal opens up and brings me to the realm of Sanguine, the Daedric god of debauchery and sounding like a frat bro. He's awesome. He was fucking with me because that's what he does, and I have to say that I did enjoy this.